Hi, friends. It has been forever. I say that every introduction of the video, and it's kind of angled weird this time, so I'm terribly sorry. But I have been meaning to make the Q&A video for 2 weeks, and I wish that I could just talk to you guys every day and not go to work. But unfortunately, people have to work. I don't know what else to say. It sucks. It really sucks. That sorry. Okay, so I'm making the Q&A video, and we're also gonna go out today, and I don't know if I will be filming that, but I want to. And I'm also going to be adding the entire ultrasound where we find out the gender. I just need to upload it and post it, so that will be very soon, I promise. And also I'll be 17 weeks on Tuesday, so that is also coming up. So stay tuned. But without further ado, the Q&A video. I'm going to be looking down. I don't know if I'll probably pause it and then come back and all that, so you're not seeing me reading and then answering, because that would be annoying. But the first question is from Brooke, and she asks if we knew, or if we yeah, what gender do you think the baby will be? And that was a long time ago. So I thought the gender was a boy, and I was right. Never, ever, ever thought it was a girl, not even for a second. And then she asked if we had any ideas for the nursery and if we had any name ideas. So for the nursery, we're doing sea creatures, and that wasn't even going to be like a factor until I got this Tula baby carrier that I'm obsessed with, and it's a woven one, and it has like the on boats, those circle things that like the wheel. Yeah, it has a bunch of those on it. So I was like, this totally needs to be the theme, and it needs to be sea creatures, which I haven't started on because I've been so busy. But we have the car seat for him and clothes for him, and my friends have been so amazing and giving us baby boy clothes, because with Liam, I either left them at my dad's house, and I know I gave away a lot of his like newborn clothes all the way up to 6 months, so that sucks. Um, as far as names, we have a couple names. As you guys know, or if you're new to my channel, my son is Liam Moon, and then my daughter is Lorelei Sky. So kind of hippie-ish, and they kind of just both fell under the L's, but we weren't trying to do that as a theme or anything. So for this baby, we're stuck between Levi or Lachlan. And if it's Lachlan, it's going to be Lachlan's son, which just kind of falls under the unique esoteric category for our babies. But I'm completely stuck on names, to be honest. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Next question's from Priscilla, who's pregnant with her 4th baby. Congratulations. That's exciting. I can't imagine having 4. I can't even imagine having 3. But, whatever. Congratulations. I think that's amazing. I want a big family, but Thomas was dead set on being done with 2. So, yeah, hopefully. Thomas, if you're watching this, I don't want more kids after this one. But, anywho, Priscilla asks if I plan on doing anything differently with this baby. Not really, to be honest. I kind of had, with Lorelei, I did everything differently. Like, with Liam, if I would get up in the middle of the night, or if he would, Thomas would give him formula because I wouldn't pump. But with Lorelei, I made sure to pump at least once a day. So when Thomas did get up with her, she would always have breast milk. She never had formula. Which, I mean, I love that there is formula there, but I like that if babies switch off between breast milk and formula, it's really hard for their little immune system. Like it gives them a lot of stomach problems. So that was, you should either do breast milk or you should do formula, and try not to supplement unless you really have to. So that's what I did differently with her, and I'm gonna do the same thing with Lachlan. Levi. We're thinking Lachlan. Lachlan's on the Lachlan right now. Lachlan is locked down. That was so stupid. But why is my camera doing this? So that's one thing. I've never been a co-sleeper, and I still plan on him being in his bath. I've always been very strict about this. They're in their bassinet for the first 6 weeks, and then they're in their own room, in their crib. And we have a video monitor. We have the little, it's actually an owl sock that we put on their foot. And then if they stop breathing, it alarms your phone. So we have that, and it works amazing. And that's how I like to get in a schedule as fast as possible, and that way it's not hard to transition. Like my kids never take bottles. We're right into the sippy cup. When they turn 6 months, they get a little bit of water in a sippy cup, or they get pumped milk in a sippy cup. We try not to do the bottles because I don't want to deal with having to transition them from a bottle to a cup. And the sippy cups with the silicone tip is like a bottle. So, and they have those at Walmart, and they have handle ones. So there's just a whole lot of things. If anybody wants videos with parenting tips, or what I found that like really makes my life easier as a parent, just let me know, and I'll make that video, because I don't know if you guys heard that, but I have a lot of tips. There's a lot of things. My ex-stepmother, you could find her on YouTube. Her name is Emma Jenner. She had her own show on TLC called Bring Home Nanny. She is a parenting guru and author. She wrote Keep Calm and Parent On. And me and her are extremely close still, even though she's not married to my father anymore. And she gave me a ton of, if it wasn't for her, Priscilla, I would have had a lot of trouble breastfeeding. But my advice for you with breastfeeding is nurses at the hospital are going to try and tell you to wake up the baby every 2 hours. I have never done that. Never. I let the baby sleep for as long as the baby wants, because trust me, I actually made a video called Breastfeeding Advice. When the baby's hungry, they're going to let you know. And unless they're losing a substantial amount of weight, let them sleep. Let them sleep. And that in itself gets them on the habit of not waking up every 2 hours. So, by the time my milk was fully in, my kids were sleeping 5-6 hour stretches, both of them. So it's very important to let you know when they're hungry. Don't think that your colostrum isn't enough before your milk comes in. That's where a lot of moms go wrong, and they give a bottle of formula because they think that their colostrum isn't enough for the baby before their milk comes in, and that's just not the case. The baby's stomach is this big for the first month. This big, okay? So if they're eating for 5 minutes on each side every 2 hours, that's normal. And if they sleep a 4-hour stretch, that's normal. Like I said, there is only one instance where you should be giving formula or giving in is if they're losing too much weight. And it's very normal for the baby to lose up to 2 pounds after birth. 2 pounds is on the higher side of normal, but definitely a pound after birth they do. And then they gain it right back. As long as it's gained back within 2 weeks, then you're golden. And it always is. Always. So that's what I recommend. Don't give up. Don't give up on breastfeeding. It's really hard, but you'll be so happy within 3 months' time, and you'll be able to do it in your sleep. Literally. I would pick up the baby, roll over, and just sleep on my side while nursing the baby. And that is just the most incredible thing about breastfeeding. So I wish you all the luck. If you need any help, my email is always posted below. Message me, and we'll talk through it, because breastfeeding is super, super important to me. And if you need any encouragement or any help, let me know. Sorry, that was a long one. Hold on. Ember asks how my husband felt about our miscarriage. And to be honest, my husband was like yours. He didn't really give a whole lot of insight, because I think it's just normal for men to not really feel attached to the baby as much as you are until they see the baby. That he hasn't, that he was like that for both of our kids. Once they came out, instant love. But until then, and he explained it to me that it's hard for him to feel attachment when I'm pregnant because he doesn't feel how I feel and he doesn't go through any of the symptoms. And, you know, most of the men that I hear from say the same thing. So when I had a miscarriage, he was, you know, he was there for me emotionally, but I don't think it hit him as hard as it hit me. And that's just honest. I think it's normal the way that your husband was. And how I tried to avoid stress when I got pregnant with this little man and not think about having a miscarriage. I don't think it's possible for any woman, if you've had a miscarriage, I don't think it's possible for you to not fear that you'll have another one. I just don't. My phone, I'm running out of room. 1 second. Okay, so, yeah, any mom will tell you, it's just, the fear is not going to go away. And I'm halfway done with my pregnancy and I still have that fear. Sometimes it gets better, but it's just, I think that you can't program yourself to have that go away. And I mean, the only thing that you can do is have hope and have faith. And I'm not a religious person, but if you are, you know, pray a lot. I know that helps my friends that have had miscarriages, and just stay positive and stay as healthy as you can be. Just take care of yourself, and hopefully it won't happen again. I'm sorry that you've gone through that, and I'll be thinking about you. Valerie asked why I feel like I should be, or not, she just said, why am I so open on my YouTube videos? And I have wanted to do YouTube for years before I did it. And when I decided to really do, you know, make videos, I wanted, how do I put this? I'm not going to make them if I'm going to lie. I'm not going to make them if I'm going to hide stuff or hide how I'm feeling, or, you know, not show real life, like me yelling at the kids sometimes or them getting in trouble. If I'm going to hide that stuff and if I'm going to edit everything, then I don't think I should make them, because that's not authentic. You know, I, like everybody else, watch YouTube videos, and I've watched YouTube families, and I've seen all the editing and everything that they say in videos like this is, you know, you could tell that they've clipped stuff out, and it doesn't bother me, but it's not my style. Like, be honest. Don't, like, show you know, it's your real life, so show real life. It's not a TV show. That's why I'm honest. And if I'm feeling something and the camera happens to be on, then I'm gonna say it. That's how I am in real life. Like, I'm just generally a very open person, so if something comes into my mind and I just so happen to be making a YouTube video, then I'm gonna tell you guys, because I do consider you guys my friends. And call me weird for that, but, you know, the majority of people don't interact with their viewers, and I do. So, you know, I get emails, I write back. I get my comments, as you guys see, and I write back. The only times I don't write back are, like my pregnancy test video, you know, people saying congrats, I don't write back because, you know, that's so many comments. But if they ask a question, I'm going to write back. And videos, you know, like that, if there's a bunch of comments, I'm not going to write back to every single one. But if they have a question, if it's, you know, a different comment, things like that, I'm always going to write back. I'm always going to stay interacted with you guys. And if you guys, you know, message me or email me, I'm going to respond. Like, I've said that since day one. Because, again, I watched YouTube families, and the comments, I'm not talking about the people that say, please notice me, or, you know, the 10-year-olds that watch them, which is the majority of viewers on certain channels are, younger kids. But if someone reaches out to me and takes time out of their day to email me, and ask a question, I'm gonna respond. That's just how I am, and I'm never gonna not be like that. I mean, you could really tell when someone's in it for the money and when they're not, which I think is rare, because I don't think I've ever seen a YouTuber that isn't. And YouTube pays you for, they pay you for ads, I think, but I've never made that like a reason for me to make videos, and I don't even think about it. I don't even think I've gotten paid yet. And like it shows you what you've made, or like what your revenue is so far, and they don't mail out like a first check until you've hit a $100 threshold. But I don't care. I mean, I don't monetize, like my videos automatically monetize, but like my gender one, I used a song, so they said, either remove the song or this video won't be monetized. And I was like, okay, I don't care. As long as, they said you could use the song, but the creator of the song might choose to put ads in your video because you used their song. And I was like, well, as long as they're not going to take my video down, I'm not going to remove the song, because that's the song I like for it. It's not about the money. Like, it could get 10,000 views, and most people would be like, crap, I'm going to take that song down because that's money. And I just don't care. I just really like the people I've met. I like, Lorelai, when I'm at work, she looks back on my videos. I'm telling you, and I'll try and get this on film. If we're watching YouTube, she says, Mama, Mama, Mama. She doesn't want to watch Strawberry Shortcake. She doesn't want to watch Yo Gabba Gabba. She is always wanting to watch me, even if I'm with her. So that's a big ramble, and I'm sorry, but that's me. I'm real. I'm never going to not be. And if I start acting like I'm not being it, I expect you guys to slap the shit out of me in comments and tell me, like, hey, what's going on? But yeah, that's serious. Those were the main questions. A lot of them were, the same, like asking if I have names or how I feel about the pregnancy, things like that. And since I have to get dinner and go in, I'm going to end it there. But you guys know that you can ask me questions anytime in the comments, and I'm going to answer them right then and there. So, again, I'll put my email down there and my links if you want to follow me on social media. And the people that have donated to my GoFundMe, I have something for you guys, and I want you guys to email me your addresses if you choose. And I'm waiting for, people, because people are still donating, so I'm waiting, and then I'm going to send it all out at once. And I just can't thank you enough for that, because every day of my life lately has been stressing about this home birth. And as of right now, I'm looking into unassisted home birth. God, it is terrifying, but I'm looking into that, and I still have time. I'm hoping to somehow figure out how to come up with the money, but that's been my biggest thing lately. I've been really stressed about that and stressed about work. So I'm sorry I don't post, every day. I want to, but I'm going to post as literally as often as I can. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching another one of my videos, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Bye.